Hello, my name's Maurice Barratt, and trust you've had a good week and looking forward to the weekend. I've been thinking again. Been thinking about embarrassment. Let me tell you a bit about myself, because I grew up a very embarrassed little boy. And I think it was because of my pride. I was very embarrassed as a child. And I became good at lying. I didn't ever want to be wrong and would deny any accusation against me. And I'd blush if I was caught out, of course. And if I had to do something in front of people, I shuddered. I knew that I was going to blush, and it was a pain to me. I dreaded giving my testimony in church and was grow bright red while giving it. I was afraid of criticism. Embarrassment was a big problem to me. I remember when I started work, I was 16, 1961 this is, and I was started work as an apprentice draftsman in a big office, structural engineering. And I was the squad boy at first. It was a 7-year apprenticeship. So I had to do all the odd jobs, make the brew for our little squad and get prints and learn how to do technical drawing. But I would never admit when I'd forgot something. My boss was called Mr. Asbridge, and I'd say, Maurice, have you gone and got those prints from the print shop? And I'd completely forgotten. And I'd say, I'm just going to do it, Mr. Asbridge. And whenever I was caught out, whenever he asked me to do something and I'd forgotten, I always said, I'm just going to do it, because I wanted to please. I wasn't being disobedient. I just forgot. I had a one-track mind in those days, and I got distracted, and so I lied and said I was just going to do it. In fact, they gave me a nickname. The boss came to me one day and he says, Maurice, were you in the army? Well, he knew I wasn't because I was 16. And I said, no, Mr. Asbridge. He said, well, we think you were a gunner in the army. And I said, why do you think that, Mr. Asbridge? He says, well, we've been talking. And he said, every time we ask you, you're going to do this and you're going to do that and going to do this. And of course, it became a joke in the office, Gunner Barratt. But it was because I was lying. I'd forgotten that I was just going to do it. Well, I was in my late teens when I started to address the situation. And it was because my father preached a sermon. And in it, he said embarrassment was a sin. Whether you think it's a sin or not, or a weakness, I don't know. But he said it was a sin. You're made in the image of God. Excuse me. You were made in the image of God, and accept how God made you. Why you're embarrassed about standing in front of people? Why embarrassment? It's because of pride. And this shocked me. I'd never been confronted before that my embarrassment was linked to my pride, and I accepted it. I knew it was true, and I decided to confront the problem. I decided not to worry. I'm going to stand up in public. If they ask me to give them a testimony, if they catch me out, I'm going to tell the truth. And it was very difficult, but I persevered and I decided not to worry about blushing and uncomfortable agitation when I stood in public. It was a slow process, but I overcame it, and I'm happy to be wrong now, or for people to criticise me privately or in public. And I've realised that people's opinions are just that, people's opinions, not necessarily the truth. It's just their perception of me and my talents and my work, and it really helped me. Of course, I still battle with pride, because everyone on the planet does. Nobody's born humble. Humility is a condition of character. We have to learn to be humble. You may have a quiet disposition and a peaceful personality, but that's not a lack of pride. Everyone is proud. We've got 6,000 years of pride. The first sin was because of pride. Eve thought she knew better than God. She disobeyed God because she wanted what she wanted. She thought she knew better than God. That's pride. So we've got 6,000 years of that, so you'll always battle with it. But I've overcome the embarrassment. You know, embarrassment is self-consciousness. And self is what should be denied and dead. If you have a problem with embarrassment, I suggest you do what I did. Realise it's connected maybe to your pride and address it. Because self should be dead. Mark 8:34. And when Jesus had called the people unto him, with his disciples also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself. Take up his cross and follow me. Pride is about myself, a wrong opinion of myself. Let no man think of himself more highly than he ought. That's pride. Colossians 3:3. For you are dead. A dead man has no pride, and your life is hid with Christ in God. A dead man's never embarrassed. If you're dead to self, how can you be embarrassed? How can you have pride? Self-consciousness is not a good thing because we're aware of self and our image and people's opinions of it. You know, Adam and Eve were perfect in the garden. They weren't embarrassed, but as soon as they sinned, they were embarrassed. They hid from God and put fig leaves on because they were embarrassed. That's pride, but only after they'd sinned. So let me challenge you. Be confident and secure in how God's made you. Have a wonderful, embarrassment-free weekend. Confident in who you are and keep thinking.